What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mic Check. We took a week off, so sorry about that, but we are back now this week. We got a lot of shit to talk about. This week, Mortal Kombat 2 came out, drops actually today. I've not seen it yet. I'm wondering if any of you have. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I probably will go check it out this weekend. There's some reviews. Some reviews have come out already. It's got a 69% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and I did not like the first film in this new franchise. I've seen it probably once, and I've tried to rewatch this movie a few times over the last week or so because I want to go see the second one. And I figured as shitty as that first one was, maybe I should get um, a refresher, if you will. But I can't seem to get through without dozing the fuck off. But the trailer for this Mortal Kombat 2, and so far what the reviews have said is it is a massive improvement over the first one. So I will check that out over this week. I'm curious, like I said, if any of y'all did, let me know what you think about it. The One of the producers, a producer of the movie, Todd Gardner, was talking about some of the negative reviews on Twitter, on X, and something he said actually brings up a good question that I have. So he talks about, he said I'll read his quote. He said, "Some of these reviews are cracking me up. It's clear that they have never played the game and have no idea what fans want or any of the rules canon of Mortal Kombat." He said one reviewer was mad that the guy had a laser eye. So he's like, dude, why the fuck do we still allow people that don't have any love for the genre review these movies? It's baffling. And some other people pointed out some facts that, like, yeah, you say that, but not everything in the movies canon. Like this whole arcana thing, or arcana, whatever, you unlock your power, the whole branding, that is something that's not in any of the games. So there's definitely some elements in these movies that they changed. But his stance here about, a reviewer critiquing about a guy having a fucking laser eye, well, that'd be like saying, why the fuck does Spider-Man shoot webs out of his web shooters? Like, well, dude, that's who he is. Like that, to say that's a bad thing. But his thing about why do we still allow people that don't have any love for the genre review these movies? We've talked about that shit on Only Comics plenty of times. I do think that's a conversation that needs to be had. I don't know that someone who is not a fan of a certain genre but reviews that genre can give a truly objective review of that piece of content. Like, I don't like country music. I don't at all. I'm not going to critique it and tell you what's good and what's not about it. So you go, well, this guy, you're Mike, you're not a professional reviewer or critic. What the fuck makes someone a professional critic versus me getting on social media, getting on YouTube, doing a podcast, talking about what I think or feel about a piece of content? Oh, they've been doing it longer. They're getting paid to do it. You don't go to, film critic school. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. You're like, Mike, you're stupid. They actually do. Here's how. I don't know. But I kind of feel what Todd Gardner's saying here. And I think that's something that should be discussed. I do think that we should, at least let me back up. When I am seeking out a review on a certain piece of content, that falls in a certain genre, I'm going to go to someone that knows about that genre. So maybe it's our fault. Maybe it's the public's fault for going to these motherfuckers for their opinions and their takes on shit that they're not a fan of. Like, dude, we're going to talk about some professional wrestling. We're talking about WWE today. I don't go and listen to someone's opinion about pro wrestling that doesn't know shit about pro wrestling. Why would I do that? So why are we going to someone to get an opinion about a video game movie, Mortal Kombat 2, if they're not a fan of that video game, if they're not a fan of that genre? That's hard for me. So Um, Speaking of well, actually, one more thing on Mortal Kombat 2 is it's sounding like this thing is doing pretty well. It's projected to do about 80 million globally, 80 million worldwide at the box office in its first week. So it's probably going to be number one. So I guess that's a good sign. People are showing up to see it. The movie reportedly had a budget of like 80 million. So, and we've talked about this a lot. That 80 million that they're making this week they ain't getting all that. You got to pay the studio, you got to pay the theaters. I mean, so there's a big cut that happens. So but it probably will make money. That being said, 80 million budget, 80 million first week. Word of mouth is going to be a big deal. It's, are people going to come out loving this movie? Oh my God, it's so great. Are they? Maybe. Like I said, I'm going to go check it out this weekend. So far, critics gave it 69% of the critic reviews were positive, and there's no audience score as of this recording. So someone else who's been critical lately, Melissa Barrera, she had some comments about Scream 7. So if you don't know who she is, Melissa Barrera, she stars in 2 of the Scream movies. And y'all know I've said this plenty of times. I'm a massive fan of the Scream movies. I know some of you are. My boy Slappa. I saw Scream 7. It was definitely not the best Scream movie, period. It was a good movie, though. I did enjoy it. I, though, enjoy like all of the Scream movies. I don't think there's necessarily a bad Scream movie. So take that, with a grain of salt, as they say. But Melissa Barrera was in 2 movies. She was in the 5th and the 6th. And she got fired for making some comments about Israel, the genocide or whatnot. You can't call it genocide. If you do, it's anti-Semitic. It's a whole fucking thing. I don't agree with the reason that she got fired. I don't. But I just rewatched Scream 5. And I will tell you that she's not my favorite actress in the world. So it's like, on one hand, I support what she said, and I think that people should be able to say that and not be accused of being anti-Semitic. Like, that's weird. She didn't say anything about anyone's race, religion, whatever. She just said that those people committing genocide are committing genocide. Okay. But she kind of took a shit on the people in this movie because she was being interviewed about it. She said that the actors and actresses that did appear in Scream 7 are scabs. Well, I'm sorry, the interviewer threw her this, layup, said, are the individuals in this movie scabs who crossed the picket line? And she said, oh, 100%, I think they all are. And they had to live with that. The only way they were able to make that movie after what happened was to nostalgia bait as much as possible. Now, there's some truth to this. I do think the nostalgia bait sounds negative, but they did lean on nostalgia in this movie. They definitely did. There was a lot of callbacks to other Scream movies, which honestly, isn't that what you want in a 7th movie in a fucking franchise? Like, at this point, bro, this is like Fast and Furious territory. You're up there. I mean, 10 of those movies, you're about to get another one. After a certain point, it's gonna be fan service. It's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be over the top. So I don't necessarily think that it was nostalgia bait. I definitely know, seeing the movie, they did lean on nostalgia. But they did it in a good way, in my opinion. So I don't know. I know, obviously, she's not happy about her ex-castmates being in this movie. But here's the thing, this is my take on it. You have the right to have whatever opinion you want, but you also got to be aware of the world we live in. So you can have that take. And I agree with her take. But you can't expect your castmates to feel the exact same way. Even if they do feel the exact same way, you can't expect them to not be in the movie because they fired you. Now, if y'all were like best of friends, like Jen Ortega decided not to come back. I don't know that she has expressed that it was about Melissa Barrera. She kind of danced around her explanation when she's asked, why she's not going to be or why she wasn't in the 7th movie. But I think 2 + 2 is 4, usually, unless Terrence Howard's teaching the math class. But I do understand why, or at least I think I know why Jen Ortega didn't return, because of the Melissa Barrera situation. Maybe they were closer. But I don't think that Nev Campbell and these other, they shouldn't be expected to follow suit. So I think calling them scabs was a little over the top. Hey, that's how she feels. I don't agree with her take on the movie, though. I don't think the nostalgia thing was a bad thing. I like Scream 7. I know some of you guys saw it. It definitely wasn't the best Scream movie. I don't know where I would rank it, but that's one thing. When I'm done watching these, I got 2 more to watch, and I will rank my Scream movies. So one thing I'm about to rank is Daredevil seasons. We saw the Daredevil Born Again season 2 finale, and man, there was great finale. We're going to do a deep dive into that on Only Comics, but I'm going to talk about the season as a whole real quick, because I think Daredevil Born Again season 2 was a phenomenal season. I think Marvel got a lot of shit right with this. This show it's been phenomenal since the Netflix days, but this season stood out to me. This season stood out. There's a lot of things I love about this season. There's one fucking thing, though, that's really confusing to me, which I'll get to. What did I love? I love the visual in this season. The visual of the Daredevil suit, the all black, the paint chipping away throughout the show, the bullseye suit. Like, we're getting a lot more comic accurate looking suits. Speaking of suits, not a superhero suit, but Kingpin, Fist. He lost the mayor grays and political style, and he's wearing the traditional all white, all black, all white with black shirt, black tie. He looked like Kingpin. They did a great job of making him look larger than life. I mean, some of these visuals in this show, a lot of them, phenomenal. Jessica Jones returning, I love that. I love seeing these two. Their dynamic. Karen being back in the fold, that was great. My boy Daniel, Daniel went out, but Daniel was a highlight of this season. Unfortunately, he ain't make it past the season. Heather Glenn, Dr. Glenn's descent. We're so used to seeing characters go from bad to good. We're so used to seeing the redemption stories. A lot of times, unless it's the main guy, the main villain, you don't traditionally see the good descend to evil or to the bad side, which they've done great job with that with Heather. Daredevil versus Fisk. We got another amazing Daredevil Kingpin fight. This was great after Vanessa's death. And at the very end, we get this massive brawl right at the courthouse, and we get no more Wilson Fisk. We get motherfucking Kingpin. All gas, no brakes on some Jacob Fatu shit. That was phenomenal. I loved all that. Here is the most confusing thing for me, though. Where the fuck is everybody else at? Where the fuck is everybody else at? Where are the other heroes? Where are the other vigilantes? This is in New York City. Kingpin, fucking Mayor Fisk, the AVTF, whatever the fuck they're called, fucking shit up. I know there's other heroes and vigilantes in the area that see this, that know what the fuck's going on. And I can get past The Spider-Man not being there. I'm not talking Spider-Man. That's the first one. That's the obvious one. He's in New York. He should be there. I understand Spider-Man not being there because Sony has the damn tongue and death grip on that live action license. I get that. But you mean to tell me Kingpin is the mayor of New York City in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Fucking New York. He's not the mayor of East Bumfuck, Montana. He's the mayor of New York City. No one outside of Daredevil and his 3 friends give a shit. Again, I'm not talking Peter Parker. I'm not talking Thor. I'm not talking Captain Marvel. Maybe Captain America. Sam's in New York often. Doctor Strange lives up the street. Bruce Banner's apparently teaching there. But all right, I got it. Big MCU movie characters. We don't want to put those big Avengers in this little show. What about some of the Thunderbolts or the new Avengers? They're literally right down the street. We saw the damn tower, the skyline. Nope. Kamala Khan, she's right down in New Jersey. Her dad knows Daredevil or knows Matt. Kind of both. But the ones I'm really confused about are the people that, these characters, these heroes, these vigilantes that were in Marvel TV shows already and have already crossed paths with Kingpin, with Wilson Fisk. Where's Kate Bishop? Where's Echo, Maya Lopez? She tried to kill him once. He's back. He's fucking shit up. Why are we not introducing those characters? They're in the same part of this universe. Because again, I'm with you. All these are, I don't like it, but I get it. All of these other characters are movie level. We got to go to the cinema to see these motherfuckers, right? But Kate Bishop and Echo and Maya Lopez, bro, they were Marvel TV. They've already interacted with this motherfucker. So that I'm confused about. But outside of that, man, I thought this finale was great. I thought this season was great. We got, again, that fist fight at the end. Now, it was cool. I'm talking this shit, but it was cool seeing Daredevil team up. I like that Angela, White Tiger. We get to see some of that White Tiger power. We talked about that amulet a few weeks back. We get to see that motherfucker in action. So that was cool. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to rank my Daredevil seasons. So we have watched 5 seasons of Daredevil TV since the OG Netflix era, 3 seasons on Netflix, and we just finished season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, the MCU's take on this show. It's somewhat of a reboot in a way. So I am going to rank these starting with number 5. Of all these shows, all 5 seasons, to me, my least favorite season was Daredevil season 2 from the original Netflix show. This was my biggest issue with this is how the show's kind of divided into 2 parts. This season starts with the Daredevil, Frank Castle, the Punisher stuff, which was great. And then the second part of the season is Elektra, the hand, stick, which that's cool too, but it just felt like out of left field, felt like 2 different shows. Elektra's killed in this show. Nobu is killed in this show. This season, Punisher's a big piece of the Elektra. Now I say least favorite because I'm comparing it to all these other seasons, but still a phenomenal show, phenomenal season. So number 4, Daredevil Born Again season 1. That is number 4 on my list. I thought it was a great return to the Daredevil series. I think that as good as it did not reach the heights of the Daredevil season 1, season 3, or even last season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, which is number 3. Number 3 on my list is Daredevil Born Again season 2, the one that just wrapped up. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was Again, slightly better than last season, and it really sets the tone for season 3. Makes me want to watch season 3 literally like right now. And number 2, my second favorite Daredevil season is season 1 of the Netflix show, Daredevil season 1. This is, I mean, you get the Matt Murdock origin, you get the Wilson Fisk origin, you get to see both of them ascend to these characters that now we have sat with for 5 seasons. You see Matt become a vigilante. You see the prototype, the black suit. Fisk, we see who Kingpin really is, how he became Kingpin. You got Ben Urich, who's killed in his first season. James Wesley, Karen takes him out. Leland's killed by Fisk. There's some major deaths in this season. But my number 1 Daredevil season is season 3 of the Netflix show. That is my number 1, my all-time favorite Daredevil season. Man, you get to see a broken, busted Matt recovering in the orphanage that he grew up in. Fisk, you really get to see how much of a chokehold he has on this city. He's released from prison. He's on house arrest, but he's manipulating the FBI. He creates the fake Daredevil and Bullseye. I mean, Bullseye is a great addition to this show, and that happens in season 3. And then the amazing fight at the end with Fisk, Matt, and Dex, Poindexter. So that's my all-time favorite. But this show as a whole has been phenomenal. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to next season. How about the ending? You got the Defenders are coming back. You got Luke Cage back in the mix. There's so many possibilities with where they can go. You see a lot of Devil's Reign influence on this show. So having Luke back in the mix, having Fisk out of office, does this mean that we're going to see Luke Cage as mayor? Happens in the comic. Read a comic. It happens in the comics. Another thing that we're going to see that I fucking predicted. I told you guys this here. First, we're going to see Lady Muse. We're going to see Heather Glenn, Dr. Glenn turn into Muse. It's going to happen season 3. You heard that here motherfucking first. So let me know. Did you like Daredevil's Born Again season finale? Season 2, did it live up to the hype? I think it did. Again, we're going to do a deep dive on that episode this week on Only Comics. So moving on to some pro wrestling stuff. WWE Backlash is around the corner. Before I even talk about that though, I'll talk about how I'm feeling about this post WrestleMania season we're in now. I'm torn because I like the fact that the Bloodline, or whatever they're calling now, First Fam, I like that Reigns is back in the picture. I like that he's the champ again. I like that the Usos are there with him. I like that it feels like OG Bloodline. I do kind of miss the heel. I miss them being the true heels. They're kind of those tweeners now, which I guess is the thing. I mean, Triple H has said this plenty of times where they don't really view, good guy, bad guy per se. They're kind of living in this tweener, as they call it. So I get it though. You got to sell Bloodline too, right? You got to sell the fucking t-shirts and all that. So the more you make them a heel, the less merch, the less, wishes they're going to grant, all that good shit. So, but it feels this time in WWE is usually a lull this time of year. It's usually like boring as shit. And I'm not sensing a massive lull. I'm glad CM Punk's not on the screen anymore. I like that. I don't know what they're doing with Cody's belt. I don't know that whole him with the WWE title. I think it's ran its course. I've had enough. I think we need to make a change there. I don't know who you're going to put it on, but I don't like it. At least for me, him with the belt right now has kind of ran its course. Um, Before I get into the Backlash matches, and I'm looking, there's only 5 announced, so hopefully they announce something else on SmackDown, but it's going to be a short fucking show. But before I get into that, John Cena, who retired recently, although you wouldn't fucking know it because he's returned to host WrestleMania, which was last month's PLE, and now this motherfucker's coming back for Backlash. I like John Cena. I'm cool, but you're retired, dude. Now I'm not mad at him. I mean, bro, get your money. I know they're paying your ass to show up, but this is more of an issue with WWE right now. Why do we need to bring Cena back for Mania and then bring him back again for Backlash? Do we need to do this? It's like WWE's in a weird place right now. It a lot of times it feels like the shareholders are booking TKO, and you hear these rumors. TKO wanted Pat McAfee to be in the Cody Rhodes story. Well, we see how that fucking turned out, right? TKO wanted, Travis Scott to be part of the main event story last year. Well, we see how that fucking went over, right? So having John Cena return, is that a TKO thing? Is that a WWE? Or is it, is it one of those where there's a merger? Hey, there's no more WWE. It's all TKO internally, possibly. John Cena made this announcement. I'm going to read his quote because I'm hoping, I don't know what the fuck I'm hoping. I'm confused by this. WWE Universe, hey, John Cena here. It was a video he put out. Standing in Thunder Alley outside of Benchmark International Arena in Tampa Bay. In just a few days, I have a major announcement inside this building that is going to shock the very foundation of the WWE, from its fans to its superstars, from its champions down to its rookies. I'm so grateful Tampa is allowing me to make this announcement. Allowing me the place to make this announcement. Thank you, WWE. See it live on ESPN and all this stuff. Don't miss it. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Okay. Either this is just overselling because maybe the interest they feel is not there for Backlash. It's kind of like what was going on WrestleMania, right? Tickets aren't selling. Okay. Hold on. Stay with me here. Here's the rationale. Tickets aren't selling. But recently, let me back up even further. Here's the rationale. Vince McMahon kept the prices of these tickets too low. He priced them for families. So we, TKO, we're going to jack these up so we can make more profit. Cool. All right. As we make that change, we realize that tickets aren't selling as much. Product's not as entertaining. That could be one reason. But then again, it ebbs and flows. I mean, product's been great, not in the middle, and tickets still move pretty well. So because we raised the tickets to make better profit, what we should do is spend money on celebrities to try to sell more tickets. So you're going to pay people that you probably weren't originally going to pay. You're going to pay them a lot more. And the whole idea here was to increase profit. So you raise the ticket prices, shit's not selling. You pay celebrities to come in because tickets aren't selling because you raised the prices. Sounds fucking ass backwards to me. John Cena's going to make a major announcement that is going to shock the very foundation of WWE. Okay. I'm going to bet, and I hope I'm wrong about this. I'm going to bet, though, that whatever this announcement is, it's not going to shock the very foundation of fucking anything. It's probably some WWE club thing or a new PLE package. It's gonna go up. It's gonna not be on Netflix. What would what would the announcement? Someone tell me what announcement would shock the very foundation of WWE, from its fans, that's us, from it to its superstars, its champions, to its rookies. What is gonna shock everybody? Could it be WWE bought AEW? I don't think that would really shock anyone to its core. It'd be like more like why? Why the fuck you wasting money on that? Like, did you get a good price? WWE or TKO sold to Saudi Arabia? The only thing I can really think of that would check all those boxes, shock the foundation, superstars, fans, champions, rookies, would be if Vince McMahon was coming back. Vince McMahon was back in charge. You bring in Vincent Kennedy McMahon back into the fold. That's the only thing that maybe there's something I'm missing, please tell me. But that's the only one that I see that would check all those boxes from shocking the foundation of WWE, fans, superstars, champs, rookies, and everything in between. We're in a weird place right now with WWE. WWE, though, for me, it's one of those things, at least now, where I don't see myself checking out. It's kind of like the MCU. Dude, is it perfect? Is it great? Do I love every movie? No, but I'm here, dude. I 37 movies and probably a half a dozen shows. I'm here. I'm good. You've not offended me to the point where I'm going to check out. Same with the Fast and Furious franchise. Same with the Scream franchise. And same with WWE for now. Now, I've taken breaks in the past, but I still keep tabs what's going on. So I'm that being said, I'm looking forward to Backlash. But I'm looking at the match card right now. I'm looking at what's happening with Backlash. And so far, there's 5 fucking matches. Which, I mean, if you give everybody, 10 minutes as they do nowadays, shit. 50 minutes of wrestling, plus another probably 10 minutes for entrances. So here's what we got on the card. We got Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. I think they've done they've done a good job with booking so far. I think so. Seth versus Braun. This has been a good feud. This is why I think a lot of people are expecting Braun Breaker to win. I don't think he's going to on Saturday. It's also like, bro, how many times do we need Seth Rollins to lose, bro? Fucking Rollins is bulletproof, dude, because he loses a lot more than he wins, and he's still top probably 3 guys in WWE from a popularity standpoint. He's up there. So Seth, Braun, I'm thinking Seth wins this. I think they'll have a great match. I think it will be very, very entertaining match. I hope they give him some time. I hope it's not a squash. Everything doesn't need to be 4 or 5 minutes. We only got 5 matches, so can we give Seth and Braun? It doesn't need to be a half hour. Can we give them a 20-minute match? Trick Williams with Lil Yachty, the U.S. Championship, U.S. titles going on the line against Sami Zayn. Sami will put on a good match. His character for me right now is very underwhelming. I'm not interested at all in the character right now with Sami Zayn, but I know that Sami rarely disappoints. He's going to give you a solid match. And I think Trick Williams has proven that he can put on a good match. He's entertaining. I think the pairing with Yachty's cool. Yachty, I think he's got a future as a manager. I heard a rumor that they were making him his actual manager, which I think is cool. You're like, oh, you're talking out of both sides. You don't need to bring in celebrity. This makes sense. This didn't feel forced like the fucking Pat McAfee thing. Yachty ain't out there trying to fight people and shit. He ain't coming out here trying to make a stand against, the WWE booking. He's just supporting Trick, and he did a good intro for him at the at WrestleMania. So this will be a fun match. Io Sky and Asuka. I'm glad it's a one-on-one. There's way too many of these mixed tag matches every week. It's fucking Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io, and this one. It's a 3-on-3, and they interrupt, and it's just like, dude. So I say all that to say, cool. Io Sky, Asuka, one-on-one. Should be a good match. Asuka's great. Io Sky's phenomenal. Who's winning this one? I go probably Asuka. And we got Danhausen and a mystery partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. I don't even know what to say about. Obviously, they're pushing Danhausen, which I get. But we got, unless they're going to add some matches, if we have a card with 5 matches on it, that's one of our matches. The problem for me with this card is, so far, there's only 2 championships on the line. You create all these belts. You got Intercontinental United States champ for men and female, men and women. You got tag team belts for men and women. You got World Heavyweight Championships for men and women. You got WWE titles for men and women. So you have 4 world titles. You have 4 intermediate titles. And you have 2 different tag team titles. And so far, there's only 2 belts on the line, 2 championships on the line. I know it's not fucking Night of Champions, bro, but Penta don't got a match. Why not? Does Becky Lynch not have a match? Unless I'm fucked up here. Unless I am fucked up. Unless Wikipedia let me down. But I'm like, dude, what else is happening? We got Trick. We got Io and Asuka. We got... And then the main event. Yep, that's... Unless they're going to announce some other shit on SmackDown, but... I don't know. And who is Danhausen? Obviously, who is Danhausen? Who's going to be his partner? Who knows? Is it going to be John Cena? Is he returning? Is that the shock that's going to fucking shock everyone? Probably not. And then we got the main event. We got Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the OTC, against the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Fucking all gas, no brakes. World Heavyweight Championship match. This is going to be a banger. I believe they have sold this match very, very fucking well in the last few weeks. It's only been a few weeks since WrestleMania. They jumped right into this, and it went from for half a second. I know a lot of us were like, really? We're just going to go straight to a Bloodline match? Like, we're just going right back to the well? Like, and people, the nepotism, this, that. I don't think this is nepotism. I really don't. I think Fatu has proved himself. I think that just a few months ago, people wanted him in the main event picture. But I think there was a split say, even myself, like, not from the nepotism, just more, we're really just going to go right back to Reigns versus his family. But I didn't prejudge. I said, you know what? I took some advice from The Rock. I fucking shutted the fuck up. And as hard as that is for me, and I just let them take me on this ride. I let them tell me this story. And I think they've told a good story. I think the Jacob wanting what Reigns has, and not just the belt, everything that comes with it. We know Jacob's got kids. We know he's had some legal issues in the past. We know all this. They're playing right into that. We know he's related to Reigns. And even when they brought him in, they played upon it. They treated him as like, they talked about him like, why is this dude here? He's too savvy. He's too out of control. He's not one of us. Like, yeah, he's our family, but he's like, we ain't inviting him to the birthday parties type shit. and he wants what Reigns has because of what it can do for his family. And he's a fucking savage. He can go. He can put on a great match. So I like also how they sold that tongue and death grip. Tongue, I'm probably saying that fucked up, but I like how they sold the shit out of, even to Reigns saying like, bro, you don't pull that out against me. Like, seriously? That's where you want to go? You don't use that against your fucking family, bro. Are you fucking serious? So I think that they sold the shit out of that match. So it, as much as I'm giving them some shit for like, where's the rest of the card? I'm really surprised Becky doesn't have a match on here. I'm really shocked about that because she's also, you got Finn, you got Dirty Dom, you got Finn and Dirty Dom. You're not doing anything with those guys. I'm confused at why there's only 5 matches. That being said, I do think for the most part, all the matches should be good. And I think they've done a good job. Outside of the Dan House, I don't even know what the fuck's going on there. And maybe that's just me choosing not to pay attention because I'm not in his demo. So let's just put it that way. But I'm slightly looking forward to Backlash. No, fuck that. I am. I think that even though there's only 5, 4 of these matches I'm really interested in, and I think they're going to be bangers. So I'm going to switch gears, talk about some video games. Shout out to my man who, I forget who it was, put in a comment a couple weeks ago, like, man, you talk about video games and other shit on Mic Check? Yes, we do. And I am going to talk about a game that is a Marvel game. It's a PS3 game. And it's also a game that I downloaded the other night and loaded on my PC here. And I am going to be streaming this live on Friday, tomorrow. So it'll depend on when you're watching this. But Friday at some point, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will be streaming this game, X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition. This is a game that I think that this game is the only video game that's based on a movie that's better than the fucking movie it's based on. And that is X-Men Origins Wolverine. I believe now, partly why I think the game is better, it only loosely follows the narrative from that movie. But because they started developing the game before the movie script was finalized, the game expands upon a lot of shit that we don't get into in the actual movie. I mean, there's a Sentinel fight, you're fighting Wendigo prototypes, there's a lot more comic accurate storyline, and it's a fun game. You gotta play the Uncaged edition. That is the edition where there's blood, there's gore, it's an M rating, it's intense gore as they call it. There was some, I guess, toned down versions that were rated T for teen, available on the Wii, the DS, and the PS2. But I played this game back in the day. I started messing around a little bit the other night, and it just reminded me of how much fun that game was. And also, this was the game I thought of when I saw the trailer for the Insomniac's Wolverine game that's coming later this year. That game, I think, is going to be a blast, and I hope that they pull. I hope that they pull, but I hope it captures that same feel that this Origins game did. I don't know that it releases September 15th is Marvel's Wolverine by Insomniac, the same creators of, am I fucking that? Is it by, I think it is by Insomniac. Yes, the same creators of the Spider-Man games. So Marvel's X-Men Origin, let's talk about the game. Couple things that are cool about the game. We talked about the blood and the gore. Using Wolverine's claws in any video game is fun as shit, man. I played Ultimate Alliance 3 on Wii a few years ago. Or not Wii. The fuck's this shit called? Switch, Nintendo Switch. That shows my age. I'm PS5. But anyways, I played that, and even playing Wolverine in that game was a shit ton of fun. So bro, calling people up is always a good time. But in this game, it's gory. You see limbs, body parts, some of the kill animations, the finishing moves, very, very, I guess, visceral. Um, I really like the damage system in this game, the visual damage that you see on Wolverine. As Wolverine's taking damage, his flesh gets ripped away. You could see his skeleton, and it kind of dynamically heals in real time. This shit was, bro, this game came out in like 2009. That was some groundbreaking visual tech back then. Holy shit. But it was just cool. Like, you're in the middle of this battle. A lot of times in these games, most games, you're fighting, you're getting hit, and the dude doesn't have a scratch on him. I get it's a video game. But if they could pull this off in 2009, why do we not see more of this? That was one of the highlights of this game. Just real-time healing factor. And I talked about the movie tie-in. Dude, I don't know if there's another movie game, like a game that's based on a movie, inspired by a movie, that's actually better than that movie. I don't think so. It also goes to show you that a Wolverine movie probably shouldn't be PG-13. Like, this game was M for mature. This game was bloody, gory, all that shit, the uncaged edition, but the movie was PG-13. That wasn't the only issue with the movie. There's a lot more, but it was developed by Raven Software. Now they're best known for Call of Duty Warzone. It was built using Unreal Engine 3. I think they're on 5 now. Now, from a critic standpoint, Metacritic gave it a 73 out of 100. IGN gave it a 7.8 out of 10. I think that's fair. I mean, this game it ain't the greatest game in the fucking world, but it is a lot of fun. The combat is one of the standout things about this game. We talked about the visuals, the blood, the gore, the regenerative healing, but the combat in this game was a lot of fucking fun. It was simple. But a lot of fun. It's a traditional hack and slash game. The claws, you got the leaping ability, you got the finishers, you got those advanced abilities, kind of hold, I'm playing on PlayStation, you're holding R2 and hitting different buttons, you're doing fucking claws, sweeps, all kinds of shit. And the voice acting, Hugh Jackman voiced Logan in this game. Liv Schreiber also voiced Victor. And I think the worst thing about this game is the fact that it's tied to this movie. That's the worst part about this game. It's tied to a very subpar X-Men Wolverine movie. But outside of that, man, this thing was a lot of fucking fun. Is it the greatest movie tie-in video game ever made? I don't know. There's one that stands out, and I'll have to replay this one. I haven't played this game in years, but it's the Spider-Man 2 game, the not Marvel Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation, the original I think it was a PS3 game. It was Spider-Man 2 where it loosely followed the movie. That was a fun game. The swinging was cool. I'm sure the graphics don't hold up, but I've been fucking around with some, like, not really modding, but I put a PS3 emulator on my PC, and it does enhance the resolution. So it's cool playing this game. It still feels a little dated, but it's cool playing this game with a much, much better resolution. And because the gameplay stands up, dude. This, if anything, it's got me really, really, really impatient about the Marvel's Wolverine PS5 game coming back. I mean, I hope we see the healing the way it's done in here, at least visually. I mean, if there's other mechanics to speed it up, whatever, but I hope there's that level of detail. I hope as Wolverine's getting fucked up in battle and that game we see the same type of healing. I hope we see the blood and the gore. I really do. And if y'all played this back then, did you guys? If anyone had the unfortunate experience of playing this on like Wii or PS2 version, I'm sorry for you, but let me know. We can make fun of you in the comments. But all in all, fun game. I'm excited to play it again. And I will be, like I said, playing it on the live starting tomorrow. So hop on TikTok live and watch me fucking claw some motherfuckers up as Logan, Wolverine in the X-Men Origins game. So that being said, that is it for today's show. I do appreciate I took a couple weeks off of Road to Secret Wars. To be honest, I was looking at some of the comics that Gemini put together in this list, and I think I want to move some things around. So I took a little break there. So if I will be back on that hopefully next week, and Mike Check will be back next week. Next week we'll be talking about Backlash. We'll be getting ready for this Punisher special, which comes out, I believe. Hold on. I think this is next fucking week. May 12th. So we'll be reviewing that next week here. I've never seen the Punisher show, so I'm going to try to binge that over the next few days so I can get ready for this. I think that I don't think he was needed, but you definitely felt his absence in this Daredevil Born Again season 2. You definitely felt his absence there. Not needed, and I'm not. You're talking on both sides. No, wasn't 100% needed, but definitely would have been a welcome addition. Let's put it that way. Real quick before we go, let me go through some comments. I almost forgot. I respond. Who do we got? We got PhD of Wrestling says, yo, that tongue and death grip looked insane. Props to Roman for selling the fuck out of it as well. Oh, absolutely. So this is from a couple weeks ago. He's talking about when he first dropped it on him. Also, that week on Raw, wherever they were, whatever arena they were at, the fucking AC was broken. So that added to the visual, by the way. Him getting choked out. Roman is he don't get enough credit for selling. He's one of the top guys who can sell in the business, and he sold the fuck out of that. I agree with PhD, but I also, the broken AC helped that as well. Todd Taste says, in hindsight, killing off Stark wasn't a good idea for where the story had culminated at that point, but at the time, it was the perfect full circle moment. He made the sacrifice play, a heavy-handed gut punch. Yeah, the end game thing, I understood why they did it, and it was a very emotional moment. It was, yes, the full circle, the sacrifice play, that goes back to the whole conversation he had with Cap in the first Avengers. But hindsight, not having Tony Stark's, not having Iron Man, when you're on this road to Secret Wars, I don't think it's the best idea. Julian Doe's, I already answered this on there. Aunt Millie's Bread says, nice. Oh, that's Paul. Says, nice Brock Lesnar fit. Yo, it's right there. The Captain Canada, why does Norman look like Tommy Lee Jones in the comics? Yes, he does. I think they should introduce Norman Osborn and Tom Holland Spider-Verse a few movies ago. Yeah, it's definitely, it feels, you feel a void not having Norman Osborn in Spider-Man. Josh Diaz says, yo, night 2 of Mania was epic. Yes, it was. I agree, night 1 was mad, but oh my God, the Oba-Brock match was dope. Yes, Brock retiring was insane. Out of all the matches, though, I think that one and the latter match with Penta's Mexican Destroyer and Roman's defeating Punk to become champ once again, finally bringing the OG theme back. That was great as well. For the memorable matches for me. It had me saying, oh my God. Yeah, me too, bro. Also, the Daredevil episode was okay. I love the fight finally. Oh, this is a couple weeks ago. And by the way, I'm proud to say I'm a new member of the Legion of Interns. Welcome to the motherfucking Legion of Interns. And actually, a person who's already a member welcomed me to the squad. Yeah, that was awesome. So great content. AWOB, thanks, dude. And then PhD says there's barely any action in Daredevil this week, but it was still an amazing episode. Yeah, and that was from 2 weeks ago. But anyways, well, that is our respond. I appreciate all of you guys dropping comments, reading comment. I appreciate you guys watching the show. And drop me some more comments. And we're getting ready for motherfucking Backlash. And by the time I see you next week, we'll have Backlash. We'll have Punisher. And don't miss Only Comics on Monday. We'll see you next week right here on Mic Check.